everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be looking at horror games that I personally find actually quite scary. Thank you so much for the support on the most recent video. It absolutely blows my mind. I'll have way more thank yous at the end of this video, so stay tuned if you want to hear those. And this video is sponsored by me. Please subscribe, and thank you very much if you do. Yeah, let's get into the horror games. So the first game we will be talking about is Devotion. And to be honest, when I went to play this game, I was a little bit confused as to how to play it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I've been wanting to play this game for a while, and the reason I couldn't is because it was removed from Steam. I was seeing some things online that the game was removed because it was too scary, but that is completely not the truth. The real reason that the game was removed is because back in 2019, after Devotion launched, players discovered a hidden in-game poster that compared the Chinese president to Winnie the Pooh. And that meme is banned and heavily censored in China. The devs actually said that it was a placeholder from an outsourced artist, but once it was found, it spread all over Chinese social media. And because the developers themselves are not a Chinese development team, they are Taiwanese, that also added to the fury of the Chinese players, and the game got review bombed on Steam. And if I'm reading this correctly, the publisher of the game is a Chinese company, which in turn got their business license revoked. And under all the pressure from Chinese authorities, players, and publishers, Red Candle actually pulled the game from Steam worldwide, and they only sell it on their website. I just thought this was really interesting, so I added it to the video, and it was definitely a hurdle I had to jump over when trying to play this game. But let's get more into the actual game itself and why I found it so scary. So in this game, you play as a once successful screenwriter who is living in a small apartment with his wife and his younger daughter. And this game unfolds through different years, 1980, 1985, 1986. And you start to see this story unwind in unexpected ways that honestly are pretty moving and really depressing. Go into this game expecting to have a very depressing time. I know that doesn't sound like a selling point, and honestly, it's not. But yeah, this story definitely goes a lot deeper than I thought it was going to. I thought this was just going to be run-of-the-mill layers of fear, walk around, jump scare simulator. But no, this game is really deep. And one of the main reasons I played this game is because I was searching for games like PT. If I'm ever trying to find a horror game, I'm looking up online horror games that are similar to PT, and a lot of people suggested this one. And although I do see the comparison, I wouldn't say it's exactly even close to PT. I would say the closest resemblance between the two is the super realistic graphics, and some of the set pieces and the atmosphere is pretty similar at times. But this game definitely stands on its own. It's not a PT clone, and I haven't really played a horror game that has affected me this much. This is very psychological horror. You start reaching into the different parts of your mind and trying to put the story together, and it makes it even creepier. This game does something that truly gets under my skin, and it hides the horrors almost behind the character, or leaves it up to your imagination. Don't get me wrong, there are some jump scares and there are some things that get directly in your face and make very loud noises sometimes. But sometimes there's something you catch out of the corner of your eye that doesn't make a super loud noise, and you're not sure if you saw it or you're not sure what you're hearing. And overall, I think this game is a definite recommend for horror fans and people looking for something that could get under their skin. But if you have any family trauma, maybe skip this one. All right, maybe this one isn't for you. But yeah, Devotion is pretty sick. It's pretty awesome. And let's move on to the next game on this list. Next up on this list is from our boys Puppet Combo, and it is the game Stay Out of the House. Now, I don't know what it is about Puppet Combo, but their games severely freak me the hell out. I think the last time I talked about them on a video like this with the game Nun Massacre. That game still freaks me out to this day, and I don't think I will ever replay it. But Stay Out of the House is a different beast all in its own right. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a Puppet Combo horror game, but I'm so used to their games being pretty short and being stripped of anything remotely close to a story. But this game is actually pretty girthy. That's not the right word. This game is pretty thick. All right, hold on. This game is pretty dense with content compared to the rest of the Puppet Combo games that I've played in my time. It has a prequel, and I'm pretty sure it's actually packed with another game that they've made called Night Shift, I believe. I'm not sure if it was a separate game at some point. I've never played it. I've only watched YouTubers play it, like Koryax Kenshin. But I was like, wow, there's a lot of content in this game, surprisingly so. But the game really kicks off when you're abducted and you're locked inside a nasty ass rundown house. The thing is though, this house is not abandoned and there is a man in there named the Butcher and his grandma or his mom, I'm pretty sure it's his mom, rolling around in her wheelchair, and they do not want you to get out of the house. But as you can see from the title of the game, you gotta get out, you gotta escape, and you have to face the horrors of this disgusting, dilapidated house. Now, why is this game so scary to me personally? I think it's just the puppet combo style mixed with the absolutely terrifying guttural sound design with their games. The one thing that stuck out to me as soon as I started is the Butcher's mom, the wheelchair lady. When she spots you, she starts screaming at the top of her lungs, and I was streaming the game to a friend and he was like, dude, that is a guttural scream. And I was like, I was literally just gonna say that, how terrifying that scream is. You know, usually when you hear screams, it's kind of just like, oh, it's the horror movie scream. It doesn't really affect you that much, but no, this is a blood curdling scream. But yeah, I think the sound design mixed with the PS1 visuals just give it this seriously uncanny vibe. And it has like janky animations, and it definitely makes you feel like you're in a nightmare. There's like this weird, just distant fuzziness feeling to the game when I play it. I can't describe it. The house is just built out of human skin. There's human lamps. There's human chairs. I don't know if you guys have heard of the serial killer Ed Gein, or I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. But he was a serial killer who made human skin into different forms of like household essentials like lamps and stuff. The movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on him. And this game is definitely based off of him and Chainsaw Massacre 100%. It wears its references on its sleeves in this game. You can definitely feel the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe with this game, and dare I say, it might be the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that's not actually a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Another thing that surprised me with this game is how good the AI is. For instance, there was a part where there was an air duct that I could go through that was connected to one room and then connected to another room. And I thought, you know what, if I go between these, he'll never catch me. He can't come in here. Anyway, I went into one of the rooms and I set off the alarm like an idiot, and he came barreling towards me like 400 miles per hour, which I wasn't expecting him to be that fast. And he could see me inside the air duct, the air vent, and I was like, he can't get me. He's not going to do anything. Next thing you know, the air duct fills with gas. This dude has gas going through the air ducts to get me out of it. So I start scrambling to get to the other side of the air duct where the other room it's connected to, so I can maybe hide under a bed or just run away. As I'm making my way to that room, he's barreling towards the room, and I didn't hear it until the last second. And as soon as I come out of the air duct, he's already basically in the room. And yeah, I died. He messed me up. And at that point, I never felt safe in the game. I thought the air duct was my safety net, my safety room, but it was not. Not only is this a horror game, it's also kind of like a puzzle game where you're trying to figure things out, put things together, collect items so you can use them later. It's almost like a roguelike. You kind of have to die to understand where to go next. And I really love that about this game. I think it is an absolute blast to play, and it definitely scared the crap out of me. So yeah, let's move on to the final game on this list. The final game on this list is I'm Scared. I literally had no expectations of being scared by this game whatsoever. Quite literally zero. You know, as I do, I'm looking up the scariest games, and I see this one coming up a lot, and I look it up on Steam and I'm thinking, you know, maybe this is, I was putting it off for about a week and a half because I just didn't think it was going to scare me. As I'm playing these different horror games and the time is passing and none of them are scaring me, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, maybe I'm scared. You see what I did there? Because the name of the game, that wasn't good, I know. So I bought the game, I tried it out, and I was completely proven wrong. This game is unlike any game I've ever played before, not just in the horror genre, but in games altogether. Sure, on the surface, it's basically just a walking simulator horror game, but there is so much more to this. The easiest way that I can describe it is that the game manipulates itself and changes the files on your PC or adds different files to your PC. I know this sounds like some sort of virus. The game even has a disclaimer in the beginning that your computer might detect the game as a virus, but it's not. Some puzzles in the game literally require you to look at new files that the game has added to your desktop, and it will also like open YouTube links, make you watch videos and HTML links. Now, this is going to be a very niche reference. I don't know if you guys have ever read this, but there is a book called Skeleton Creek. And in Skeleton Creek, the book, they would literally tell you to go to like certain links and certain places on the internet to watch videos. And as a kid, I could not watch these videos. They were probably the most terrifying things I've ever seen up to that point. And this game reminded me of that a lot. And I absolutely love almost like ARG aspects to games, books, any form of media, something that makes you go outside of the media that it's showcasing to you and puts it into a different perspective, a different form of media. So not only did that add just tons of intrigue for me personally, but also added to the immersive atmosphere of this game. I was a part of this game, quite literally. My computer was a part of it. Every part of me at that moment was into this world. This game truly blurs the line between game and reality, breaking the fourth wall. And I remember my first encounter with Whiteface, who is like the enemy of this game. First thing that popped into my head was nope, and I almost just wanted to close the game completely. I will say though that the novelty of the fear kind of wears off about 20 to 30 minutes into the game. And then it starts to become more of a horror puzzle game where you're not completely scared, but you still are a little bit on edge. But it would be criminal not to include this game. It is super cheap on Steam. It is very short. It's very interactive. Your toaster could probably run it. Have you guys seen toasters these days? They're actually they're little computers. And if I didn't include this, I'd be doing a huge disservice to horror games. And I think you should definitely check this out. I mean, you probably have seen it. It's pretty famous and it's very old. I absolutely love this game. One of my favorite horror games I've ever played, period. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. This is where it ends. If you liked the video, please subscribe or like the video or leave a comment saying that you liked it. Suggest your games down below. But I quickly just want to say thank you for the video that I just put up recently. I didn't upload for a whole entire month, maybe a couple days past. And to upload a video and have it get 450,000 views in less than a week, after being away for a month and being afraid to upload because I thought the video was going to flop so hard, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I cannot put it into words how much I genuinely appreciate your support. How many times can I use the word genuinely? I have no idea. Let's cut that out. But it's because of you guys that I can make watching horror movies and consuming horror content my job. And with how bad and weird life can get sometimes, you guys are always the light at the end of the tunnel, always keeping me going. And I really wish you guys understood how much it truly means to me, the amount of support that you've given me. I cannot convey it through words. I can't draw you a picture to show you what I'm talking about. It's something that's indescribable. So once again, thank you so much. And thank you for being amazing people. And keep continuing to be yourself, striving to be the best version of yourself every single day. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.